Hello everybody. My name is Keiko Tanabe. Welcome to San Diego. I'm a watercolor artist living here for many years, and I'm at the Balboa Park today. And I'm going to show you how to do a quick plein air painting of one of my favorite views. As you may know, Balboa Park is a very popular place, not only for locals, but also visitors, and of course the plein air painters. So you may see here when you visit somebody painting. It could be me. Anyway, today I'm setting up at the Plaza de Panama. This is kind of like a main square of Balboa Park. It's really the center of the park. So there are a lot of people walking by, and then there's a big fountain, and the spring flowers, and beautiful architecture, and such a splendid place for many views to paint. But it's very important to simplify, so that's what I would like to show you in my first demonstration. So my material, first, the paper, the watercolor paper, I'm using Fabriano Artistico. The surface is cold press. It's not so rough, it's not so smooth, it's somewhere between. I like cold press, and sometimes I use rough as well. The size is 14 by 20, and then I'm going to use this horizontally to do a landscape painting today. And the way I keep the paper flat, because of course watercolor, we use lots of water to paint with, and the paper might warp a little bit. So to prevent that from happening, I had to do something. So today, and as always, I put the tapes on all four sides, and I place the paper down, tape it down on the sturdy board. And then I put it on top of my easel. And my paints, you can see I organize colors certain way, and then I hold a small palette in my left hand when I paint. So the way I place colors, it's always like this. I have primary colors on one side, and then a few colors that can be different for a season, for a location. But let me tell you the names of colors, especially this side. It's always like this. Usually, I don't touch and I don't change in even the order. So the first, I have a yellow group, and then I have from this side, lemon yellow, and next to it is raw sienna, and this is queen gold. And I have orange. This is actually red orange, that's a name. And I have cadmium red, and this is alizarin crimson, a little cooler red. And then I have a blue group. The first is cobalt blue, French ultramarine, and then this is actually purple. It's dioxazine purple. And I have phthalo blue. And this one is a burnt sienna. The last one is transparent brown. Let me show you a few more colors on the other side of the palette. Today I have Viridian, and this is turquoise green. And I'm sorry, I put two different colors because I thought I might need them to paint the spring flowers. And so I put, this is opera. Yeah, opera and wisteria. And the last one is titanium white. The brand I like and I'm using today is mostly Sennelier. And as you may know, Sennelier, they put honey inside, so honey-based pigments, which works very well, especially in a plein air situation. As you can see, the sun is hitting directly inside my palette. So that means paints will dry up fairly quickly. So we have to do something to keep them moist. Otherwise, it's going to be very difficult to paint quickly. But if the pigments are honey-based, they may dry up on the surface, but I can reactivate by putting a little bit of water on the surface. So their reactivation process is very short compared to other non-honey-based pigments. That's why I like this brand. Okay. Next, let me show you some of my brushes. I may not use them all, but I always start with a big brush like this. I know there are different types of brushes, and it could be this one, slightly smaller, but they're all relatively large in size compared to the other brushes I have. So why do I need these brushes and is because the first thing I do is to lay down the wash from one side to the other, from top to bottom. I color everything, except for things I need to save white of the paper. And then that process has to be done quickly. And so the colors will merge and blend and do whatever they want to do on the paper. So the big size will do quick work, and then I can make a big strokes and big bold strokes to finish the process and quickly. But also the hair type is very important. They may all different, but they're all soft hair. And also because of that, they are very absorbent. So if I put a lot of liquid, colored liquid to do the wash inside, I don't have to go back and forth between my paper and palette many times to finish the wash. So the size and hair type, that's very important for me, for the type of brush I want to use in the beginning. And after the first wash is finished, I may still use those brushes, but mainly to soften the edges, but sometimes to paint with. But I take care of details, that's what I do, to finish the painting. So for obvious reason, smaller brushes like these may be probably more useful. So different types and hair types, and also size, and also the shape, depending on what kind of brush mark I want to make, and I pick the right brush to do the job. To do watercolor painting, simple way, you don't need a lot of materials, and paper, paints, brushes, and also water. And actually, this is something many artists may not think of. Water is a very important tool for watercolor artists. We really have to know how to use our materials, how to make them work for us. That includes water as well. Especially the water is so fluid, and we can't really control it. We shouldn't try to control it. And actually, we have to really understand how water works, how to make it work for us in our painting. So I would like to talk about that as well as I demo.